Okay. And we're going to talk about the law of attraction today. So, Jackie, you're quite a believer in the law of attraction, aren't you?
Yes, I am now, yeah.
How long have you known about it?
Where are we now? About 12 years ago, probably.
Oh, wow.
When I first discovered it and started to read into it. And first started looking at YouTube videos about it. Will Smith and Oprah Winfrey and things like that. So,
right, yeah. They're big believers, yeah, aren't they?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, they call it different things. So I didn't actually know what the law of attraction was to start with. I thought that was something to do with romance and attracting partners.
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
didn't know what that, I'd never really looked into it. But, you know, when you hear something, but you're not really sure what it is.
Yeah, and you make your own decision kind of thing.
Yeah, but so I obviously started to look into it and watch some videos and all that and the wonder of the internet. Obviously started to practice it. Yeah.
So you believed in it sort of straight away?
No, not straight away. I bought the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and I read a bit of that, and I saw the DVD, and I think I only, typical me, started to watch a bit of it or read a bit of it. I think I had both, and it starts off being quite scientific about the reasons, and I was a bit bored with it, so I didn't carry on. And I think sometimes if you see something and that everyone's bigging it up, and then you get a bit disappointed because it's not what you think.
Not quite what you expected. Yeah.
So at that time I just thought it was rubbish, to be honest, and I was a bit disappointed with it. Although I still got the book, still got the DVD.
So what happened then to change your mind?
A few years later, I think I was always a bit of a person who got a bit down or had a bad day, and I'd be, it's me and I can't do anything, and you get yourself into a cycle of
lack of self-belief.
And it was bad. So I could never have any confidence in anything, because I used to think everybody else is better than me and I can't do that, and they're different to me because it was all about mindset, although I didn't really realize that at the time. And we were going through a bit of a bad patch, not in our relationship, but personally we'd had a few hiccups, and we went to a bookshop, and that book literally fell down, The Secret.
Wow.
Or it might have been The Power or The Secret, because there's a few by Rhonda Byrne. It was one of those books anyway.
Yeah, there are quite a few, yeah.
And Tony said
it just jumped off the shelf.
Well, it fell, but still it's
yeah.
So Tony said to me, don't you think, is that book? And I said, oh yeah. So anyway, in that shop, The Works, it was really cheap, like, I don't know, £2 or something. So I bought it and started looking into it. I think when you get to a certain point and you're really low, you're prepared to try.
You're looking, you're looking for some help, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. So I started to read it, and I started to do a few of the mantras in there. Things started to improve for us quite quickly, actually. Yeah.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like what then?
So Tony was obviously not a believer at the time, and I was just reading things while he was driving along, saying, do this, and he just did it. He did it to humour me, I think. But things started, you just shut her up, really. So I was going, look at this, and he did it, but I don't think he believed it would work.
Right.
And things started to improve for us quite quickly, actually. We came into a bit of money from a refund, and then he did like a free bet thing or something. So he didn't obviously put no money down or anything, and we ended up with, I don't know what the money, can't remember the money, but we ended up going abroad as a family for the first time. Salou we went to. So, and that was literally from nothing. We didn't expect that.
Wow. Yeah.
So then I think then you start to believe it's, and then obviously something switches in your mind, and because you start thinking, then you do it more. And you do it more.
That's the whole concept of it, isn't it? That positive thinking and thinking only good things brings more positivity into your life. And I do agree with that. That negative people tend to just have negative things, or you only notice the negative, don't you? But if you start noticing all the good things in life, it does bring more to you, and you appreciate, you see more of the good, and you see less of the bad.
Yeah, I think so. And also, if you negative people can really rub off in a bad way, can't they?
Yeah,
and after a while they drag you down with them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's not a good thing. So try to sort of surround myself now around positive people and people who believe in the same thing. But you're right, it's a mindset, and I feel though it's difficult to do it sometimes. It's definitely an art that you think sometimes, if you're feeling a bit down, you can have the negative thoughts to just creep in, don't they? You can't stop it. But I think the art is to replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. And I'm getting better and better at that.
Yeah. But I think, as you say, you have to stay away from the negative people, because negativity is never going to do you any good, is it at all?
No, and it's the same. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, what is luck? You see people and you think, oh, they're lucky. Look at them. They're not lucky, are they? Everybody has, in my opinion, everybody has pretty much the same chances in life when they're born. And that they get what a lot of people get, through hard work or whatever. But same opportunities. I believe you make your opportunities.
And we've all got the same 24 hours in a day, so you can't say, oh well, they've got more time than me, because actually we can. It's organisation, planning, and an attitude, isn't it? Really, I think.
Yeah, it is, and also it's like somebody, say for instance, somebody wants a job. Well, you're not going to find a job, but someone's not going to come along and give you a job if you don't get out of the bedroom or you don't go out the door.
Yeah.
So half of it, you've got to take some action.
Yeah.
But, also you've got to believe, and I believe in signs. I believe that there are signs and things happen for a reason. And if they happen for, you've got to see the signs. It's not always easy. Things present themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
If you put it out there that you want a certain thing, then I believe that the universe sort of presents things to you that you wouldn't have otherwise seen. Yeah,
I agree entirely. And it's surprising when you've written something down years ago and then you find that list somewhere. Surprising often how many things that you've achieved that you didn't even realise. I mean, for me, actually, it was Steve leaving his job and us moving to Spain. I'd kind of written it down years ago and haven't really, sort of thought, I haven't manifested it or, thought anything about it. But, some years later, we found that we'd done exactly that, because when you have something that you really want and you believe in, even though you may not be actively, consciously working towards it on a conscious level, subconsciously you are. And so you're more likely to achieve that eventually, even if you hadn't really sort of said, right, I'm going to go and move to Spain next year. It just happened for us sort of gradually, and then suddenly the opportunity came up. But they say, like, if you like when you're single, or especially when you're younger, and you see somebody and you really like them, you kind of manipulate, you think about them all the time, and you manipulate yourself to be around them, or whatever. It's the same kind of, that is that, like you said, that is attraction, isn't it, in the form that you talked about earlier. You kind of just somehow get yourself in the vicinity of that person, if you're that keen.
Well, yeah, I just passing. You live in a cul-de-sac. I'm just passing.
Yeah. But as you get older, as I've got older, I've really started to believe in it more and more. And like you say, everything kind of happens for a reason, but so much of it is in your mind. Of your success or failure is in the mind, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, definitely. And I think the thing as well is you're in a comfort zone. And so many people complain about, I need to do this, I need to do that, but they won't move. You paint your own picture. It's like your life's like a piece of paper, isn't it? And you've got to draw on it what you want it to be.
Yeah.
But some people won't move from where they already are. They want things to change, but they just won't move.
So
how are you going to change anything if you don't actually move anywhere? You need to take at least a little step, one way or the other, don't you? And I think that comes from failure and fear as well. Fear of it going wrong, or the old, what is it, out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yes, yeah.
So
all of those.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I always remember my grandma said to me once, never ever go back. And what she meant by that was, I had a job that I didn't like, and I left it eventually, and I went to another job that I hated even more.
Sounds like my life.
Yeah, so then I wanted to go back to the first job, and I did. But against my grandma, she was very wise, and she said to me, never go back, because it won't be any different. You're going back because it's comfortable, and you knew it, and you knew the people there, but you still won't be happy. It was true.
Yeah, you left there for a reason. I've done that. Actually, I did that with a boyfriend when I was quite, like, 17, 18. Went out with him, got bored, broke up with him. And unfortunately for him, of course, he was quite besotted with me. It was one of those, didn't quite level out sort of relationships. And so got back together with him, and within a few weeks I was bored again. And I was like 17, 18 then, and I got myself a au pairing job in Germany, and I buggered off to Germany, and obviously broke his heart, because obviously he thought second time around this was it. Like you say, I should never have gone back, because I wasn't committed the first time. And I think we've all been in, those kind of situations, with jobs or relationships. Holidays, quite often, never the same when you go back the next time. Sometimes it is. I think maybe holidays can be, different, but I think that is good advice. And again, I was always told that and never really believed it. But, we should always be looking forward, shouldn't we, and not looking back.
Yeah, exactly. And, if you're not happy in a situation, like I say, you do need to do something. But it's fear. It's fear of the unknown. But for me, you end up. I had a guy come to the house once to do some cards, and it never made any sense. And it was when I split up my marriage, and I was absolutely devastated. I lost lots of weight. I mean, I wish I was like that now. But yeah, and he came to the house, and he said, "Oh, you move in these circles." It made no sense at the time. You move in these circles, he said, but you'll soon be moving in these different circles. And he was doing all these cards all over the table, and it didn't really make any sense to me. But if you're with someone and you've made a life with them, then obviously your life revolves around them, their family members, their friends, everything you do, whether you've got mutual friends. It's difficult. It's a difficult transition, isn't it, to go?
Change your whole world.
Yeah, and he didn't really help me in the way, because I just kept thinking, oh God, this is even worse. I'm never going to be able to go into a different circle. But then a few months go past, and you'll meet one person maybe, and then they'll say, oh, come to so and so with me, and before you know it, it all happens so gradually. But in my mind, I remember being really scared. But now looking even 3 months back at it, I'd started to move into these different circles without knowing. So it wasn't as scary as it appeared to be, if that made sense.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. It is the gradual change, isn't it? And you don't think, oh, because I've gone out to have a drink with this person and I've met their friend, that's a change in direction. You don't notice it at the time. But as you say, you look back a few months later and you think, I've met a lot of new people and I've started going to different places. I mean, life is a journey, isn't it? And it should be. And it would be awful to actually stay in the same place and be in the same circle all the time, wouldn't it? I mean, we say this as lockdown's about to start, and again.
Yeah, well, that's whole new challenge, isn't it? That we didn't know that we were going to.
But the lovely thing is, with online, isn't it? Like you said, we've never met each other face to face, but we've made really good friends, and we've made other sort of friends online, and I've just I've sort of met your Kelly online, and sort of know her a little bit, and Tony, and you've met Steve and everything, and so our circles are expanding, and there's nothing to stop us going out and meeting all sorts of other people online, is there now, especially through the business, because there's so many people in our business. And it doesn't have to be people in our business, is it? I think it's finding like-minded people is always the difficult thing, isn't it? I suppose it's more focused online, because if you meet somebody in a bar and you think, I don't really like this person, but you have a few drinks and you just kind of chat about the weather or whatever, but you might not ever want to meet up with them again. It's harder to kind of have a conversation online with somebody that you don't gel with, isn't it? I would imagine.
Yeah, if you've not got anything in common, I mean, it's strange how much we've got in common, isn't it, really?
I know, it's spooky, isn't it, really? My hair. I'm sure we were blooming twins, separated at birth.
Very strange, very, very strange. But I mean, you wouldn't really believe that there'd be anyone else like it is. It is.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But
again, law of attraction. I
exactly.
guess.
Yeah. And they're the same. See, I used to work with some people that believed the same thing as me, and it was great because in the morning, you know, I believe in affirmations. I know you sent me a few affirmations, and there's quite a lot on YouTube. But just having that mindset in the morning, and you know, if you've got someone who, I remember when I worked in the shop, we used to do it together. It's not quite as bad, is it? Because you sort of gene each other up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you did it in front of people who think you're a bit of a weirdo.
Oh yeah, no, that is the trouble, because people judge you, don't they? And so people that don't understand or believe in the law of attraction will just think you're a bit of a nutcase, or, you know, away with the fairies.
But it's actual science, isn't it? There is actual science about behind it. So it's not, you know.
And as they, you know, the first time I heard them say thoughts become things, I was like, what does that mean? But it's true, because everything that's ever been made was a thought originally. You know, the house that you live in, somebody thought about building that house, and, you know, it eventually became a thing. And it's like every single thing in existence, isn't it? So it, as you say, there is so much science in it. Yeah, I love it. And I do listen to affirmations, and I have someone when I go to sleep, because they help me go to sleep. And, you know, I'm hoping that it's going to rewire the brain. And as you say, there's a lot of scientific, you know, evidence, isn't there? In fact, do you know Dr. Joe Dispenza? He's really scientific, and he talks all about the quantum physics of it, and it kind of goes a bit over my head, but, you know, he's very much an advocate of it. And it's all on YouTube. All these people are on YouTube.
That's what I mean. And I think when I first looked at it the first time, I think I dove too much into the scientific side of it, and I didn't like, it was too deep for me, too much.
Yeah, I find it quite heavy, but I like, because I'm not very woo-woo. I'm not that good at sort of believing in, you know, whatever. So
fairies.
Yeah, exactly. Believe it or not, I'm not away with the fairies, although you might think I am. So I quite like the fact that there is physical evidence, or, you know, whatever. And like, so you say, Oprah Winfrey's, you know, a big fan of it, isn't she? And a lot of, you know, very well-known people are. So I like the sciencey side of it. But yeah, when it gets a bit too complicated, I you know, I sort of switch off then. My hubby just gone past.
Yeah, so there was two things. I was listening to something this morning, because honestly, it's quite addictive. If you go onto YouTube and you see things like that, because you know the way that the algorithm works these days, it keeps giving you things that you like
more and more and more. Yeah.
And I was watching something this morning, I can't remember the guy's name, and that was really interesting. He was talking about like the subconscious side of your brain, and this little voice. That's the voice that puts you off doing things. That's the voice
drags you down.
It says you can't do that. Who are you having? You can't do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, and he was talking about that voice and it being like an outside entity. And then he also talked about the fact that everything in existence, where we are right now, this very second, happened 38 million years ago. I think he said 38.5 million years ago to get to this point.
Wow.
That's amazing when you think about it.
Oh, you should put the link if you can find it.
I'll send it to you. That's what I was doing this morning.
Yeah.
It is. It's, I think, do you know Russell Brand?
Yes.
So
he
started doing all these different interviews with various different people, and that's what it was.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've seen him talking, sort of ranting himself and talking, you know, just to camera, but I haven't seen him doing interviews. Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's had some kind of an awakening, because he didn't used to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite interesting, the people that he interviews, and everyone's got their own different viewpoints.
Oh, he's very bright, isn't he? Very intelligent, I'd say. Yeah.
So that was another thing. And then like I say, I think that isn't it? The law of attraction, it's like a seed.
Sorry about the dogs. Is it what?
It's like a seed. You put a seed.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
And that's different.
I would recommend it, you know, to anybody that's watching it, or, you know, to anybody to look at some of it, and, you know, to be open-minded about it, because, as you say, it's not just woo-woo fairy stuff. There is proper science behind it, and as you say, it's a seed. And once you start realizing that you can control your whole destiny, really, and, you know, that it's not out of your hands, it's a great feeling. It makes you feel confident and gives you hope in the future, which therefore improves your mindset, doesn't it? And it's all about, I think I've heard them say, what's the point of being here and being alive if you're not happy? You know, happiness is really the meaning of life, because nobody say, oh, I'd like to be a bit more unhappy. you know, so once you realize that you can create your own happiness and you can change your life for the better, you know, that gives you so much hope for the future, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's even difficult to know what you want sometimes. I think you
Yeah.
have to really kind of go into yourself sometimes and take yourself away from everything to realise what you really, really want.
Yeah.
You think you want this, but you're not, you know, then you get it. You're not, there's people like that, they really want that, and they get it, and they're not, actually, I don't really like that.
Because that's often filling a hole, isn't it? You know, hole in your soul sort of thing, because you're trying to, I used to know somebody that she was, you know, quite unhappily married, and didn't like her job and didn't really have many good friends. And she was a bit of a shopaholic, and you know, she was always buying stuff, and it was always just to fill that hole of, you know, emptiness. And then she'd take the stuff home and she'd have to hide it from her husband because he disapproved. So it was a, you know, vicious circle. So I think, you know, happiness starts within, doesn't it? And I really do think the law of attraction can really turn that around.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, you know, that the little seed is there, and you know it'll grow. This is what, you know, it's going to grow, but you don't know what makes it grow. I know, okay, light, water, soil, and food, if you like, but what's the energy that's making it grow? It was a seed. It was nothing. And that's what I try to say to people, that you can't always see energy. You can't see electricity, can you? You know it works.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You know it works. You know it powers things. You know the lights come on, but you can't see it. So just because something you
doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I
entirely,
continue to live my life around the law of attraction.
Absolutely.
And get
well, I'm still listening. Yeah, it is. It's because they also say it's like a muscle, don't they? That the more you practice it, the more you use it, the more you understand it, and the more you can control it. And it is about controlling, you know, really controlling your thoughts and what you want. Well, here comes Tony. Oh no, he's gone again.
No, he's gone again.
But I'm listening to the book by Esther Hicks. Well, it's Abraham Hicks, which is kind of her persona, and it's on YouTube, and it's called Ask and It Is Given, and it's a free. Well, it's Audible, but I think it's through YouTube. But anyway, it's free to listen to. There's quite a lot of versions, but this one's nicely written and nicely narrated, free to listen to. So I would recommend it to people to, you know, sort of check it out. And as you say, there's so much on YouTube that, you know, people can start looking into.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got the magic book, as we know.
Oh yes, yeah.
Rhonda Byrne has written a few good ones. So it's just a case of really starting somewhere. But I think even if you don't have the resources to watch YouTube videos and things like that, you try and think inside your mind. Every time you think of a negative thought, just get it out quick. Replace it, get rid of it, replace it with a positive one, and keep doing that, because it's so easy, especially with what's going on with the lockdown. We'll think, oh God, I'm never going to go out. I think you've got to focus on something, focus on what you really want, and make everything in your power. You know, don't listen to that negative Nancy saying you can't do it, because you can.
You've definitely got to accentuate
really easy to let yourself think that other people are better than you and that they're different to you, but they're not. They're just the same. Just got a little bit more, for want of a better word, bottle, I suppose, to a bit more confidence to carry it through, rather than just sort of wither away. Because it's so easy to waste your time. You know, you can look back and think, oh my God, I've got a Facebook status where I was moaning about something, about whatever, I can't remember what it was now. And I looked, and it's a time up thing from a year ago. And I looked, and I thought, oh my God, that's the same. I'm still moaning about that thing now. And a year's gone past.
Yeah, if you don't like something, you've got to do something about it, haven't you? It's not always easy. You can't just instantly change your job or instantly have a different house or whatever. But you've got to start somewhere. And like you say, plant the seed. Start thinking about how things could be better. I think people should, you know, if people watching don't really understand how it works, they should really, you know, read some stuff, you know, the Beginner's Guide to the Law of Attraction, or, you know, there's a load of little short videos or books or whatever. I think it's hard to, I remember when I first heard about it, I just thought it was, you know, a bit hogwash kind of thing. But I do think people should look into it, especially if they're feeling a bit down and a bit hopeless now. Because it's, it is in your mind. How you handle adversity is in your mind, isn't it? So, if you're on your own or you're living with people that kind of bring you down, I think you need something that will lift you up. The other thing, of course, is music, but that's another story.
Well, that's something we could discuss another day.
I think we should.
I do use music to uplift me, definitely, when I'm down, especially at the moment, and you can instantly get good feelings.
Yeah.
And, you can just feel positive just instantly by either listening to something or watching something. You make your whole self feel totally better.
Absolutely.
Like that, instantly. So, yes, we'll leave it there and we will talk about that another time.
We must. Yes. Okay, well, adventure.